In this video, we're doing a Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas jazz piano tutorial. It's Paul Tobey from Jazzmentl.com. Thanks for joining me. The whole process of playing Christmas music in a jazz format is all about reharmonization and understanding what you're doing and the chords that you're playing. So I recently had a comment from someone on one of my videos that said, hey, why don't you use one of those MIDI keyboards where you can show the notes that you're playing in bright red and things like that. And I can't really do that with this piano because it is a grand piano and it doesn't have MIDI. So that's out. But at the same time, those videos that you see with people doing that, it's fairly simple to copy what they're doing, but that's not what these tutorials are about. These are actually understanding modern harmonic progression and how it actually works. And so when I write out chords and I show you chord progressions, it's really to help you understand it and then apply it to other songs, not just copy what I'm doing. And that's really the whole point of being a great jazz player. So in this video, I'm going to play through the tune a little bit, and then we're going to start to tear it apart and look at how I'm actually reharmonizing it and some of the chords that go along with that. Let's get started in just a second. All right, so let's take a look at the piece of music and how we're going to reharmonize it. So the first thing you need to look at is, in terms of the melody, it's just the first two bars. And if you look at most of the chord progressions for music that is written in books and things, you'll see only these chords: 1, 6, 2, and 5. Sounds okay, but it's not great jazz. What I'd like to do is introduce you to what we call the passing chords. So to get from 1 to 6, you can actually go down from C to B flat. And what you try to do is figure out what chord sounds good over top of that passing note. Now we could have gone to B. It's really a choice. In this particular case, we used B flat, and we're putting a C over B chord. Now we get into real jazz, where you're looking for that dissonance and resolve with the E flat 7 sharp 11. Now the reason why that's a passing chord is because it's a half step above the destination 2 chord, which is the D minor 9. What a great sound. Let's take a look at the voicing for the E flat 7 sharp 11 chord. Grab some sheet music here, and let's just start at the bottom and let's play the E flat and the G, which is 1 and 3. And in the right hand, we're going to play the 7th, which is D flat, and then just an upper structure triad, which is F, A, C, which is just an F major chord. But what it is it's 9 sharp 11, and 13 of E flat. So that's why we call it an E flat sharp 11 chord. So 9, sharp 11, and 13. And of course, you can voice that with notes way down in the bass. But in this case, we're just starting off the piece, so we're staying small for the moment. Okay, so when we get to that D minor chord, I love the sound of that chord. I've written it out for you before, but let's do it one more time if you're not familiar. So what we're going to do is play the D way down there and then the F way up there. So that is a 10th. Sometimes difficult to do with your fingers, but because they're both white notes, shouldn't be that hard to do. Just catch the edge of the key, and then we're also going to play the 5th down here as well. So that's in the left hand, and in the right hand, again, another upper structure triad, which is C, E, G, just a C chord. And then in the bottom, we're going to put a G there as well. So what a great sounding chord that is. So that's our D minor 9 chord. Beautiful. Let's play it from the beginning. So I want to focus on the A flat 7 sharp 11 chord. Again, half step above the next chord, which is G. So let's take a look at the voicing for that. And it's actually a pretty simple voicing. All you got is 1 and 7 in the left hand. So we've got A flat and G flat. So that's 1 and 7. And then it's just simply the A, C, and E. And you can play the G flat in the right hand or in the left hand, it's up to you. And then when we get to the F over G chord, that is really a G sus chord. So if you're not familiar with a sus chord, it essentially means sus4, so you're swapping up the third of the chord and putting the fourth in instead. So like this. So it's sus sustained above the third, and it continues to the third sometimes. Sort of that tension and resolve. But in this case, I'm just putting an upper structure triad, which is F over G. So you've got the 7th in there, and you've got the 9th in there from G. I wrote F over G because it's a little easier to understand it that way. And then the G7 flat 9 chord is just a F diminished chord. So we've got F, A flat, B, and D. So that's an F diminished over 1 and 7 of G7. So F diminished over G7, which makes a G7 flat 9 chord. So again, it's often easier to think of it in terms of playing just a diminished chord. All minor thirds. All right, let's play it from the beginning. And sometimes I'm just playing little melodies in the left hand. And it's not good to play the E flat, so E natural. So the last thing I'm going to say about this is in the next few chords, we've got C, and instead of going to B flat, we're going to a B natural here. And this is actually incorrect. This should be a G. Okay, so in our next video, we're going to talk about this here because that's kind of important. So stick around for another video and we'll continue with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I keep these tutorials to 10 to 12 minutes because it's good to do things in chunks and apply them to your own playing. The whole point of this video was to reharmonize 1-6-2-5 and figure out the best passing notes and chords for that particular melody. So one more time. I hope you have fun with that. If you have any questions or comments about the voicings or you want to dive into it a little bit more, just ask in the comments below and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for your time.